Karen at the diner. I was elbows deep in dishwater when it happened, that moment you dread in the service industry. You know the one I'm talking about, where a customer decides that they are the center of the universe and that the entire restaurant revolves around their whims. I'd been a waitress at the diner for a few months and thought I had seen it all, but this incident takes the cake. It was a typical Friday night, and the restaurant was buzzing with people who had just finished their work week and were looking to unwind. I was taking orders, refilling drinks, and rushing plates of steaming food from the kitchen to my tables. My hair was frizzy from the humidity, and my apron was stained from the countless spills and splatters I'd encountered throughout the night. At one of my tables sat a middle-aged woman with perfectly styled hair and a designer handbag. From the moment she walked in, I could tell she was going to be trouble. She sent her water back 3 times because it tasted funny, and she complained that her steak was undercooked even though she'd ordered it medium rare. I was doing my best to keep my cool and accommodate her requests, but I could feel my patience wearing thin. Just as I was about to deliver a fresh glass of water to her table, she flagged me down with a look that screamed, "You're in for it now." I took a deep breath and approached her, trying to keep a smile plastered on my face. "I've had it with this place," she sneered. "The service is atrocious, and the food is barely edible. I demand that you comp my entire meal, or I'm going to leave the worst review you've ever seen." My heart sank. I knew that if she followed through on her threat, it could mean serious trouble for our small, family-owned restaurant. However, I also knew that giving in to her demands would set a dangerous precedent. I was torn, but as I looked around the room, I saw my co-workers hustling and doing their best to provide excellent service to everyone else. I knew I couldn't let this woman bully us. Then, something unexpected happened. A man from the table next to the woman stood up and cleared his throat. He was a regular at the restaurant, and I'd always known him to be kind and easygoing. But now, he had a fire in his eyes that I'd never seen before. "Excuse me," he said firmly, addressing the woman, "I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with this waitress. I've been coming to this restaurant for years, and I've never had a bad experience. The food is always delicious, and the service is exceptional. I think it's incredibly unfair for you to demand a free meal just because you're not satisfied with your own choices." The entire restaurant seemed to hold its breath as the woman stared at him, her face turning beet red. She tried to stammer out a response, but the man held up a hand to stop her. "You can leave your bad review if you want," he continued, "but I'll make sure that everyone knows the truth. And trust me, I have a lot more followers on social media than you do." The woman huffed, gathered her belongings, and stormed out of the restaurant without another word. The room erupted in applause, and I couldn't help but grin from ear to ear. I thanked the man profusely, and my manager later rewarded me for my patience and professionalism in dealing with the situation. From that night on, the rude customer's threat of a bad review was nothing more than a distant memory. We knew that we had a community of supportive and loyal customers that would always stand up for us. A neural narration story.